together pretty well.
And you made a long run there, and it was a. Well, welcome to the Jake Gilbert Show. This year, Jake, we changed the name, and we're now the Jake Gilbert Show. So, welcome, Coach.
I can't wait to be back. I appreciate it. Good to see you again, my friend.
The day I interviewed you, we weren't even really sure whether we were going to play a football game. So, a lot has changed. A lot of success on the Westfield side, and of course, last year you lost to Cathedral. And
I'm not sure we did play football that night.
Yeah. You pretty well said that too.
After that, we got it together pretty well.
And you made a long run there, and it was a wonderful opportunity for me and for you to be a part of that, because it was something special.
Yeah, it was a great year. You know, our freshmen went undefeated, our JV went undefeated, our varsity went 12-2. So there was a lot of wins, but we just had a great culture. It was an awesome year to coach. The kids practiced so hard, tremendous character. It was one of my most enjoyable years ever, just because of the kids. So our staff, our kids, it was a good year to have a good year. I just felt like we were just so grateful to be able to play with everything that was going on with COVID and everything else. We were just so grateful to be out there that we really put in our best every day.
Well, Coach, I know last week, and I think a lot of people have a little bit of a misconception of doing a live scrimmage with another team. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of things that you want to learn from that ball game, and it's not necessarily whether you scored a touchdown here or that. You're looking at individual players, especially with you got a few holes to fill that you wanted to see some other players play. So it was more grading the players rather than how many touchdowns you put on the board.
Sure, yeah. For some kids, that's the last opportunity that they're going to get to play a significant amount too. I mean, that's something that people don't realize, but some kids have put in all kinds of work, and just their role on the team is not going to be quite as significant during a game Friday night. So it's a chance for us to reward those kids and play them. It's a chance for us to get some chemistry together with some guys, but it's also, like you alluded to, just a chance to see certain guys that we're trying to figure out, are they ready for varsity football or not?
Yeah, the one thing about it is, when you look at the depth chart and everything, there's some players that are juniors and seniors that didn't see a lot of action this year that are on that too deep depth chart. So it does matter. I mean,
It does.
You continue to work hard and try to get better, and you're going to be rewarded by getting to play on Friday night.
Yeah, each season's its own. When you return a lot of players, there's a lot of pressure there and expectations, but the honest truth is you start over every year. And, just like if you change one ingredient in the chili, it tastes different. Well, every team has some new faces, and it's a new year, and players have changed, and sometimes there's new coaches even. And so each team's its own. We're trying to build the best team we can for 2021. Grateful for 2020. It was amazing. Like I said, absolutely missed the seniors, but it's time now for the 2021 Rocks to pull a great team together.
Absolutely. Now, you do have, from what I have on my notes here, you have 6 players returning on offense and 5 on defense. Is that correct? I think it's about that.
Yeah, I think maybe a little more than that in terms of how we count them, but at least that for sure. Yeah. Pretty excited. It's the most we've ever returned.
Yeah, really. One of the good things about it, a little bit different this year, is coming in with the Cathedral game. You wasn't sure who was going to be behind center.
Yep.
This year it's a little bit different.
Sure.
So that makes a difference. And then Micah Hauser's back, and he's exciting on both sides of the field.
Yeah, we have maybe the best backfield that we've had to have Maximus Webster, Micah Hauser. Those are 2 All-State players returning for their senior year. Micah was a top 50 player in Indiana, is voted on by the coaches. And then along with those guys, Cole Ballard at quarterback and Trayvon Hatchett at running back, and Javion Averett. We have 3 senior running backs. We've never had that. A couple of really explosive kids in the offensive backfield, a couple guys that can throw the ball. So we feel awesome about our backfield.
That's good. That's good. And up front, I think you got a few players back on that offensive line also. So.
Well, Aiden Roberts is out right now with an injury. He was our starting center last year. We hope to get him back. But Zach Williams is a tremendous left tackle, so that's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Will Strom is playing left guard, and he was a part-time starter last year and played some varsity. So we're down Aiden, but we do have Will, and then we have 3 juniors who are starting right now. Alex Ashley at right tackle, Reed Askren at right guard, and Michael Clifford has taken over at center for us.
And of course, the one big surprise that I always thought last season in that wide receiver core was Nick DePascali. First time out for a while and had an outstanding year. I see you have him at a tight end this year.
Sure. So we use our tight end a lot in the receiving game. A tight end is just a tough physical receiver. Now don't tell Nick I gave him credit for being tough and physical, because he wouldn't know what to do. But DePasquale's been awesome. He has been tremendous. We have loved coaching him. He's been what an asset. Not just because he's a good player. He's been a great kid to coach. It's been a lot of fun. He's a very good competitor, which I value. So he's back, but we are changing his role to more of what Reed Shepherds did for us last year, kind of a tight end position who can also flex out and play receiver. And then Jackson Wasserstrom has been amazing. So he had a good season last year, but Mason Peening was an all-state player at X receiver and a scholarship level wide receiver for us. Jackson's going to slide over into the split end or X receiver position for us, which is where we usually play our best guy, and he's had a great offseason. So we're excited for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And now let's talk a little bit about the defensive side. I mean, because you have some great players there. Led by Louisville commit Popeye Williams and a great core of defensive players. I mean,
yeah, we returned quite a few. Kyle Widmer and Popeye would be 2 D linemen who are back, who were starters last year. You may see some other seniors for sure rotating in there. Vance Farrar, Zach Williams a little bit, Luke Lewis, Blaze Deslin. So we have quite a few seniors. Clay Frederick, I think we have about 6 or 7 senior D linemen. And then William Goodvine as a sophomore for us that's going to play with those big guys, and maybe even another sophomore, Colton Vondersar. So we're pretty excited there. We'll probably play a lot of D linemen early until that solidifies itself. But we think we hopefully can stand up against this big offensive line that Cathedral has. We do have a lot of linebackers. We've been a little banged up from the off season there, not so much in season, but Evan Cannon and McGuire Graybill are both out right now. But Charlie Dacus, Charlie Dager and Tyler Dacus are back as juniors. And Bryson Hoover, this will be his 3rd year starting as a senior.
Yeah, in fact, Hoover played very limited time last year against Cathedral, correct? Because I think
he maybe was injured a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you did play him, but I can remember when we did the show last year, and he kept chopping it a bit. Coach, I'm going to play, right?
Yeah. I was pretty worried about it. Yeah, you don't want to kill the goose that laid the golden egg. So this is a huge game. I'm sure Cathedral feels the same ways. We have a long season hopefully ahead, and some guys that we would never put a player at risk. And so hopefully Bryson's healthy and ready to go this year. But we have a couple other guys that maybe won't be out there this year that in this game, but we'll get back.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Cathedral, because they're just well, I mean, that, there's not many high schools that you can say in the state of Indiana that just reloads every year. But Cathedral happens to be that one. They always have done a good job of bringing, returnees back. But the situation at quarterback last year, that was his first game. And of course, they have a new quarterback this year.
Sure.
But I understand he is a very talented sophomore.
Yeah.
So.
They're extremely senior laden. I think they have about 17 seniors on their depth chart as starters. That's a lot. So that means they're big, strong, and fast is what that generally means, and they are. The quarterback is a sophomore. However, he's already a scholarship offered kid, so I have seen him throw the ball, and he's tremendous. So I know he's just a 10th grader, but he's not your average
10th grader.
Yeah, so we can't look into that too much. But they are excellent. Again, they probably have the best tight end tandem in the state of Indiana. They tremendous up front, offensive tackles. My goodness, those guys are great. I like their receivers, especially a couple guys. They got a big guy, 13. They got a smaller guy, Page. I think they bring unique gifts to the party. And then defensively, great defenses are just really solid up the middle, and they return their mic and they return their free safety, and those two guys make about every tackle. And so,
well, I mean, when you look at last year's stats, all three of those guys had 80 tackles or more.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have three guys that have 80 tackles or more,
they're flying to the ball.
Yeah. So,
they've got a great D end. They're going to be good. I mean, they're not.
And you know that going in. I mean, there won't be any surprises.
No, and they're extremely well coached. So you don't get lucky per se. You're going to earn it, and that's what good teams do. They make you earn everything.
Well, Coach, you know, it's going to be a little bit different. You know, last year when it kind of got hit right smack in the face in that first Cathedral game, and then people were wondering, you know, is all the hype true and all that stuff, and then you got the guys regrouped and you played good football and all season long until you run up against Center Grove, which is a great football team. In fact, they're in the national rankings now and talking about that. So that's a great program down there. But there's going to be a lot of people coming after the Shamrocks this year, I'm sure.
Not going to sneak up on anybody. It's maybe a little bit easier to be the hunter than the hunted, and that's what our team really has to prove: is do we have the character to not only do it again but be better? Are we compelled to the point that we can take a step and not just be a great team every few years? We've gone to state 3 times in 8 years. Very few teams can say that. That's a great thing. But can we become a program that's an every year type of program, that every single year we're going to be a top 3 to 5 team in Indiana? That's what we have to prove. Because right now we're not.
You know,
we're working on that.
That's where I know that you're striving to be, and sometimes that's a very difficult job to do.
Yeah. So I'm anxious to see if we can take a step as a program and not just have a great team, but can we take a step as a program and have a back-to-back type of program that every year we're in contention.
Well, Coach, I wish you the best of luck here at home this Friday. I know it's going to be a huge crowd here, hopefully, and it'll be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, come out and see us. It's, you know, last year we were limited on crowds. Sure. We were capped at a couple thousand, and this will probably be a crowd of like 5,000 people. So how exciting to kick off the football year. And, can't wait.
Absolutely.
So thank you, and go Rocks.
Thanks, Coach.